Hello YouTube, welcome back to the Bison Workshop. I'm Bob, and today I'm going to give you a first look of how I built the tongue. I've got it in a vise, and I've already got my jack mounted to it, and I got my tongue mounted to it. And we got 2-inch ball that we're going to have to mount to the tractor. And I think this will be a nice tongue. Jack works good. I got to build a foot for it. There's a hole for it to put a foot, so I got to build a foot. And now basically all I'm going to do is take this thing back apart, and I'm going to do some sharp edge policing, and I might run this in the mill and just grind that down, or I might just take the grinder and grind it down on this edge. But I'll bring you off the tripod and let you look at what we got. Alright, so here's where it bolts up to the trailer, and then there's a third bolt, but it's on the inside here, as you can see. And we're going to take and clean this up and paint it probably flat black. I don't know what I got available. I know it's going to be black, we just don't know if it's going to be black or gloss. I made this plate to mount on it with 2 bolts, and then I drilled a hole in this to let this bolt go all the way through, because this plate is threaded in these 3 spots. So anytime, this makes it standard for this kind of jack. So I put it on this side here, because this is the side I'll be standing on when I'm jacking it up and down. Alright, that's bolted to this, and then this here is bolted on. So I got to take this off, take the jack off, take this plate off, grind that down to where it's kind of round, and then wire wheel that and paint it. So I'm going to get started on that. Enjoy the music. Alright guys, now we've got it hung, ready to paint, and the bolts are ready to paint, and I think that should be it for the tongue. So we'll go ahead and get started painting on this. Alright, so guys, while we're waiting for that paint to dry so we can put that back together, and I may not put it back together until I get it on the tractor and put it all together while I got it on the tractor. But anyway, this is going to be the frame. I've got everything laid out where I want it, and I'm just using treadmill pieces and, you know, straight frame, stuff like that, and just using what I have to my disposal. Now all these pieces are not the exact same width, like this is wider than this is, but it doesn't really matter. It's going to be underneath. As long as it's got a strong frame, we're good. So basically what I'm doing is, wrong side, I got this a little crooked. I don't know how I've done that, but for some reason the distance between this one and that one is longer than the distance it is from here to here. I may have to cut this weld right here and cut a little bit off of that to bring that down so it's the same size. But basically here's what I'm planning to do. I'm going to take and put these in. Of course I got to cut all this off of it and put that in place, and see, that's a little long. And then I've got these pieces that I cut. It's pretty heavy stuff. It's pretty thick, and that will go to finish these cross members out. So it'll go in there just like that right there, and then welded, and then all of it will be welded together. So I can't get that one in right now, but that's the idea. And then this is what the board or the platform or the bottom of the bed is going to mount to. It's going to mount to all of this right here. And I'm going to use 3/4 inch plywood all the way for the sides and the bottom. So it's just going to have a metal frame. And hopefully I have enough metal with all that I've collected with the treadmills to do sides. Now I've got some more treadmill stuff. I've got some more bed framing. The bed frames can be used for the corners, and we'll just see. Once we get wood on it, we should be good for mounting the sides. But that's the bed, and I'm not ready to tackle that until tomorrow. I've got some shitty welds on here right now, but I just did that just temporarily just to hold it together. And I've got the hinge made. And this is the hinge. These are what's going to mount to this. And then this will mount to the tractor. To the trailer. So basically it's going to go in there just like, let's see, how's that go? like that right there, and then this will bolt to this, just like so. And I've got a shim that I've got to put in here, so I've got to cut these shims down, which is ears, and I'll just cut the round part off, and I got to shim that by 1/8 inch, which is what that is. And then I got to make another plate. Let's pretend that this is just like that. We're going to make another plate to go on this side, so that when we put a bolt all the way through all that, it'll sandwich against this, and you're not actually pulling a hole in your metal. Now this is pretty stout metal that they use on treadmills, so I'm not really worried about that, but just to make it look more professional, I'm going to put a plate on it. So we're going to have the shim that goes in it, and it won't be bolted or welded in. And then we'll have a piece of this metal, the 1/4 inch, which is the same as this. It's going to sandwich that, and then we'll put a bolt through all of it, and that'll be our hinge. Now the reason I'm bolting this on is so that if I want to take this apart, I can. If I weld it in, I'll never get it off the hinge. So we've got it on brass bushings, which you've already seen, so I'm not going to beat a dead horse. Now I got to clean this up, and then I got to run spots of weld all the way across there to make that really strong. Right now I've just got it welded on the ends, and then this will be bolted to the tractor. So there's my hinge, there's my supports that goes in there just like that. There'll be 2 of those that goes in there just like that. Then we got this that goes in on this side, just like that. So I've got 4 of those, and let's hope it works. I'll meet you at my regular spot. Alright, so there's a look at the tongue, and tomorrow we will get started on, yes, I'm planning on doing a video tomorrow too. So tomorrow we'll go ahead and cut the hole for the hitch, or the tongue to slide into, and we'll go ahead and get this tongue mounted so that, you know, if I can move it, if I need to move it, I can move it around, and it'll be level because it'll have a jack. So I've got to make a jack for it, or jack foot for it. I think I have one around here that's actually round that slides up on it and the bolt goes through it, but God only knows where I put it. Alright, so once we get the tongue done, then we will start working on that bad boy, the deck, making the frame for the floor. And I've got a bunch of stuff here that I can use for the sides. The beauty part of putting that frame all the way out and making it completely square is, you know, if I need to weld a support to bolt the side to, I can do that. So I think this will be a pretty nice one. I don't want it to be too heavy. If I was to use wood as the you know, build it scratch from wood, it would be god awful heavy. So we're eliminating some of the weight by using this treadmill motor, or treadmill metal. So I've got plenty of pieces here that I've cut out of 2 treadmills I just got, and we'll see where this goes. Anyway, don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think. And if you want to support the channel, you can do so with PayPal through bisonworkshop@gmail.com. I hope you guys are having a great day, or have had a great day. You guys have a good one. Later.